Welcome back to the Morning Blend. 1 out of every 3 people who have epilepsy will still experience seizures even if they're on medication. So what more can be done to help them live a life free of seizures?
Dr. George Morris is the medical director of the Regional Epilepsy Center at Aurora St. Luke's Medical Center, and he's here with more on a free educational opportunity to explore options to live seizure-free. Thanks for being here, Doctor.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
I think a lot of people will hear living seizure-free and wonder, is that truly possible? Because they've, as we said, tried other things. Maybe they have side effects, it doesn't help their seizures, and they just feel like they don't know where to turn. Is that something you often hear?
Well, it's a common thing. When it happens in 1 in 3 people, it means that every 3rd person who you encounter who's had a seizure is going to be back with that problem. And in fact, what we know from large studies is that it's actually 1 in 2 people who actually have to move from their first medicine to their second. So we feel that an educational kind of program, because people's ability to understand their illness and use information about it can be very successful in making their treatments more effective, that these sort of educational programs that we put on will help people through this process. And we want to talk about what seizures and epilepsy are, how they happen, what causes them, what we do to assess them and evaluate them, how we classify them, and then what kind of treatments we have and what kind of treatments we have when they wind up in the circumstances you've talked about and not having seizure freedom. We know from large epidemiological studies that people who are seizure free are better off in so many different ways.
I can imagine.
Oh, quality of life,
Yeah.
their self-perception is markedly different, but their ability to move around, their space, their physical space, because they can't drive. And so we not only do we do these programs, but we do them in multiple locations so that people who have these limitations are better able to access this.
And we'll give information just a second about the free seminar that's coming up on Wednesday, October 2nd. But first, I just wonder, for people especially who've had seizures for years, or they've suffered with epilepsy for a long time, and you're able to find a medication or a treatment or something where they begin to live seizure free, I'm so curious to know how they feel about that, how their life is different, and how you feel about that as a physician.
Well, for 25 years, that's what brings me to work every day, is that moment where you permanently alter somebody's life and put them back in the category of living normally.
Yeah.
Seeing their world the way you see it, and the way Kim sees it, and the way I see it. You know, we all have our liberty and no expectation that we'll suddenly be deprived of it. And when you're able to move back to that space, you feel just unbelievable. It is for these people a wonderful step. And so, yeah, I get to work every day, and I get a chance on many of those days to do something like that. And yeah, it's a tremendously rewarding step. So we'll talk about the fact that seizures are generated because brain cells don't stay under control. That this can be caused by genetics, it can be caused by trauma, lots of different causes. Kind of go forward then to what are the things we use to look at this. We look at the structure of the brain, we look at the function of the brain using MRI and EEG, and then we look at the treatments, the initial treatments, and then we talk about the implantation of a generator device known as a vagus nerve stimulator. We talk about the surgical resection of brain tissue as a treatment for epilepsy, which sounds tremendously scary and everything like that for people who think about brain surgery. But these sorts of brain surgeries are very refinedly and precisely done and have very, very low complication rates and are vastly underutilized, despite the fact that people who don't have them have a shorter lifespan, have more limitations during that lifespan, and when we actually successfully take away their seizures, we're talking about 30, 40, 50, 60 years of an improved quality of life. And so the investment early in their lives in this sort of process makes this an incredibly resource appropriate treatment.
I think it's fantastic. And I think people who suffer from epilepsy or seizures, this is something they've been waiting for, is information, potentially a cure or better treatment. So I want to make sure everybody has the information for your free seminar that's going on next Wednesday, and it's free again. It's at Aurora St. Medical location. Sorry, it's at
Aurora St. Luke's Medical Center. Yep, it's a free educational seminar.
And it's Living with Seizures and Epilepsy. It's next Wednesday from 6:30 to 7:30 at City Springs in Pewaukee, Country City Springs in Pewaukee. Sorry about that. The phone number is 888-863-5502, or visit aurora.org/events. And you've got, people can come in and do evaluations as well, because you are a level 4 epilepsy center. So thanks for being here, Doctor.
Correct. This is my contribution to all the new Time Warner viewers that you have back.
Love that.
Thank you. It's great. I hope that people watching today will get a lot out of that free seminar, and I know you'll answer questions too there, so thank you so much.
Thanks, Doctor.
Thank you.